Welcome back to the channel. I'm just gonna hop right into it, into today's video. So today, the star of the video is going to be the Cosmetics Venetian Rose eyeshadow palette they just came out with. And this is that beauty right here. She's full of rosy and neutral goodness. I love this palette so much. It is so pretty. And then here's just what the packaging looks like. Cute little rosy mauve color, and then the back just lists the shade names, and the shade names are Honeymoon, Cherish, Embrace, Venetian Rose, Always, and Charm. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So let's hop over to the next part and I'll go from start to finish, and we'll do a look with this. I'm super excited to use this. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Holy Grail eye primer right now. We already know Rare Beauty. So let's go on ahead, and I'm gonna be looking in my mirror here just to make sure I'm doing everything right. So and I'm just using the concealer brush from Rare Beauty to put on my eye primer. I saw this tip on their Instagram page at some point, and I love using this brush to put on my primer. It helps so much. And there we are. Prepped and primed lids. All right, I don't know what color I want to start with first, you guys. So I'll go in with Always as just a transition shade. And I'm gonna look here in my mirror. Oh wow, I don't know if you can see that, y'all. It's blending right into my skin, which is perfect. I'm gonna do that. Oh wow, y'all, that is such a good shade. I love that. Got our transition shade on. Let's see. I think I'm going to darken up the outer corner with the shade Embrace. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use the same brush. Oh yeah. Bring some of that up into the crease. And I think this palette would actually look so pretty for people with brown eyes. I myself have brown eyes. They're kind of like dark brown, but they're really light in the sun. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush just for a little more detail. And I'm gonna take that with the Embrace shade and just kind of go here on my bottom lash and connect the V there. Everything's blending pretty good so far, just like all of her. I have her other two palettes too, and I'm gonna do a collection video as well. So if you haven't seen that, I'm not sure if it's gonna come out before this or after this. Be sure to check that out, just so you can see the other two palettes in the Define Skies collection. I love all three of them, so I'm pretty biased about it, but I'll still definitely have an honest review or interpretation of the items. So look out for that. All right, I think I'm done. Just gonna go in with Venetian Rose. I think I'll use this brush. This brush is from Eyeliner Cosmetics, and it's the detailed diffuser brush. I don't think it comes separately. I think you can only get it in the set, so don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna use the Venetian Rose color and then just kind of go over my crease area. Just kind of give it a little more color, and so we can see more of that rosy undertone. But I think this is perfect for my skin tone, y'all. And it's blending well on top of that shade Always too. These are blending all very well together. So let's go in with shade Charm. And I'm just gonna take my finger. Oh, look at that, so pretty. I'm just gonna take Charm and go right over my eye and just pat that on. I'm gonna take shade Honeymoon. I'm gonna stick it right here in the inner corner, just for a little pop of color. All right, I'm gonna take just a little dense little packing brush and grab the shade with that. And if you want, you can use the brush to kind of blend it into the first shade. I'm not taking any extra color. I'm just using what's left and kind of pushing it around, because I'm gonna take that same brush I used on the outer V. This is a ColourPop E10 brush. I think I got this in a set as well. And I'm going to take the Venetian Rose shade, and then I'm just gonna fill that in on my bottom lash line. I figured it would probably be best and easy to show you guys swatches of them as well, whether you're close to my skin tone or you just want to see the shades in general just swatched out and not just in the pan. I'm just gonna insert this clip real quick just so you can see that. So I just went in and swatched them on my hand from top to bottom. It's Honeymoon, Cherish, and Embrace, and then Venetian Rose, Charm, and Always. So if I can get a better picture of them, I'll definitely insert this in here. But I love these shades. I used Always as my crease shade, and that like blended straight in. And then this right here is Embrace, and it pretty much blended right in on my V, but it's still dark enough. So I definitely am recommending this palette. I love this so much, especially if you're my skin tone and you have dark brown eyes, like this will work for you. So check it out. If you're new or we just haven't discussed this yet, eyeliner is not my friend, especially liquid eyeliner. It's just hard to do, and if you mess up, you mess up. You gotta start over or patch it up. I don't know. Tell me guys in the comments how you feel about liquid eyeliner, and if you have any tips for me, I'm all open to them. And I'm going to be using the M Cosmetics. It is the Brush Tip Illustrative Eyeliner in brown. This brand was the first brand I ever used a brown eyeliner for. Any other time I would choose eyeliner, I would actually use black. But when I used this brown, it made me realize like how soft it made your look become. Because sometimes that black can be so harsh, and I actually opt for a brown eyeliner most of the time. So I really like this eyeliner. Definitely check it out too. But I'm gonna just start with one eye, and I'm gonna look into my mirror. No mistakes here. So I'm just gonna start with a line out. Y'all, I'm shaking. And I'm just gonna take that line and drag it in. And just give us a nice little wing. And let's just fill that in. I really only make my wings the biggest part of eyeliner. Everywhere else, I try to keep it as thin as possible, just because I want to accentuate the outer portion of my eye and not the inner portion or the main part of my lid. All right, so now that we have that done, I did opt to use a darker brown in my waterline. This is the ColourPop Crème Gel Liner in shade Brew-Haha. Just in this, and I just put that in my waterline here at the bottom, And then I just did my liner over here. Use my handy dandy little e.l.f. lash curler. And then this is actually the Pick Me Up mascara from M Cosmetics. And you can build this up as much as you want, but I typically only just use one coat of this because that's enough for my lashes. All right, and we are done with mascara. We're gonna go on ahead and go to brows. Not gonna do anything really fancy with them, just kind of fill them in. I am going to use the Micro Fluff Sculpting Brow Cream in Universal Taupe by M Cosmetics, of course. And then I'm also gonna be using the Fine Liner Brow Pencil in Deep Taupe as well. I really don't do a lot with my brows. I just kind of let them run free. I just pulled out my handy dandy Pore Diffusing Primer from Rare Beauty and just put that on everywhere. But they do actually have their Daydream cushion, which is their foundation. It's kind of bright. And if you can see, like, it's actually pretty light on me. And once I blend it out, you can definitely see how much lighter it is. But I figured I could probably use it as a brightening instead of just not using it at all. So all right, so now let's move on to highlight and blush. Normally, I'll actually apply my blush under my foundation, but these products kind of work in a way that it's a lot easier to me personally to put on the Daydream cushion first and then put on my highlight and the blush just to kind of round everything out. The Moonbeam highlighter, this is shade Halo. It's more of like a gold. Then I'm going to use the Venetian Rose Color Drop Serum. And I'm going to try and mix them together and let's see how that works. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this highlight on the back of my hand again, just to kind of keep that base wet. And that is probably way too much, probably didn't need that. So I'm gonna take my other foundation brush from Rare Beauty. I use it for a blush though. And we're just gonna mix that in. And then we're just gonna go for it. Other side. So let's move on to lips. I'm going to be using two of their Soft Blur Velvet liners. The first shade is going to be in Foxy and the second shade is going to be in Kitten. And then I'm going to round it all off just to keep up with the Venetian Rose theme. I'm going to use the Venetian Rose lip cushion. So first we're using Foxy. And I'm just going to line the outside of my lips first with it. I'm just lining the outside of my lips just to kind of darken them up a little bit. And then I'm gonna fill in a little bit more with the shade Kitten. In with that lip cushion. The one thing I will say about this is once you twist it up, that's it. So twist at your caution and only enough that you need. So I'm gonna go in. And it's just a nice like wash of color. But that's it for today. How do we feel about this look? I think it's very neutral, very earthy for me. I love a good dark look like this. Put on some mascara, pop on some blush and your lips, and then you're out the door. So I really like this. I really like this palette. Definitely go check out M Cosmetics. Like I said, they're one of my favorite brands ever. Been following them for a couple years now, so for sure. Thank you guys for joining me. Definitely check out my other videos on the channel. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at cashincolor and TikTok at cashincolor, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye y'all.